a form in front of you that looks like this called blood typing. And prior to this lesson, we learned about blood types. We learned about blood type compatibility. We learned about how it is our blood that helps defend us against invaders when things get inside of us. Am I correct? All right. So with this, today's lesson, you are going to be able to really apply and show what it is that you've learned. So your scenario is, welcome to the emergency department at this hospital. Your challenge is to save 3 patients. Actually, cross it off and put 2. We're not going to do 3. So your challenge is to save 2 patients who have been in a car accident and need blood transfusions. It is your job to blood type each patient. What does that mean, blood type? Maya? To find their blood type. Good. Each patient and give them the correct blood. What do we mean by give them the correct blood? Red blood? The match. The same type? Is it always the same type? Okay, so what do we mean by giving them the correct blood then? One that is compatible. How do we know if it's compatible? If it mixes, meaning that it will not do what? Clump. And another word for clumping was agglutinate. Very good. All right. Each patient has a health meter displayed that monitors their condition during blood transfusions. Try to avoid making mistakes or the patient's condition will deteriorate, meaning they could die or become very sick. The patient's life depends on you. In a moment, you are going to enter the emergency room. At that time, before adding the patient's blood to each test tube, because you will have to add their blood to a test tube to see if it is compatible with what's in that test tube so that you can blood type that person, meaning you can figure out what type of blood there is. You don't want to put blood in a person and then wait to see if it clumps and see, oh, that blood's not compatible, got to try something else. Instead, you do what? Take a sample of their blood and do what? Test it how? Adding it to another type of blood type that you're going to add it with and see what happens in a laboratory setting before you actually put it in that person. Then you're going to describe, before you add them together, you're going to describe the contents of each test tube. You're going to be provided with 3 test tubes, information about the test tubes. You're going to add that information on the sheet here. And from there, you're going to conclude what the blood type or information may be in the contents in that test tube. Then we're going to add the blood to the patient from the each test tube, and then we're going to record information. From there, we're going to continue all the way until we actually perform the transfusion. May I get a doctor, please? Yeah.
A doctor, not a nurse.
I'm sorry, that's very male chauvinistic. Women can be doctors, and as a matter of fact, next year I will be one. Yes, not a physician doctor, but a doctor of education. Come on. Same thing, same amount of schooling, same amount of money, education. I still will be considered Dr. Wiggins. Thank you very much. This information gives us the same information that was just on your paper, so we're going to go into the emergency room. Are you scrubbed up?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see you scrub.
Oh.
Ready, Doc?
Yeah.
Okay. You have to select your patient.
No.
Go ahead and draw the blood to his arm.
Oh.
Okay, before we move on, the rest of you need to have your papers. Doctor, why don't you go get your sheet so that you can record some information and data here. Read this information, Doc, aloud.
Drag and drop the syringe in all three test tubes to figure out the blood type the patient belongs to.
Before you do that, Doc, read this one.
Click on the test tubes to see their contents.
I would start with whatever test tube is listed on your sheet first. Okay, so test tube A tells us what, doctor?
It has A antibodies in it.
Okay, where do we put that on our sheet?
The first blank.
Okay, it contains
A
A antibodies. Therefore, this test tube might contain what blood type?
B.
B blood type. How do we know that?
Because it's the opposite.
It's anti-A. Very good. Very, very good. Okay? Let's test the next one. Test tube B. Tell us, doctor.
B antibodies.
You have to speak up.
B antibodies.
So therefore, doctor?
It's A blood type.
Okay. The next one is an RH. And what is this saying?
It's
What's in that test tube?
No.
What's in the test tube? Read that.
RH.
RH what?
Antibodies.
Antibodies. So this has no, this is not a blood type. It says on your paper, therefore this test tube
Is
contains
no.
RH protein or no RH protein? No RH protein. Doctor, are we ready to test this patient's blood?
Yeah.
In the patient or in the test tube?
In the test tube.
Okay, pick one and go first. Oh, we did test tube B. What happened when we put the blood into test tube B, doctor?
It mixed.
So we're looking at patient's blood plus the contents in test tube B. We added the two together. What happened? It mixed. There's no separation. It mixed. And this was the second. She didn't do test tube A. She did test tube B. So make sure you're putting it in the right spot. Write your hypothesis first. Go ahead and write your hypothesis, doctor. No, just test tube B. We haven't done all of them yet. No. What should the hypothesis be saying, though? Not what yours says. What information should it be giving?
His blood type is type A.
Don't give me specifics. It should answer the question, which is what? What's the patient's blood type? Okay. Doctor. No. Doctor, do you know what's your hypothesis from that test tube?
Their B blood type.
You're saying they're B blood type?
Yeah.
Okay, what were the antibodies in test tube B? A? Did it mix?
Yeah.
Okay, so therefore it must be B blood type. Okay, doctor, why don't you try test tube A? Write your data when mixing the blood with, move over this way, doctor, some people can't see. Good. When mixing the blood, patient's blood in test tube A, what happened? It didn't mix, it clumped. Write your hypothesis. May I get a training doctor? This is house. You guys are the trainees. May I get a training doctor? Dr. P, back there. Or soon to be Dr. P. Can I get your hypothesis for test tube A? Okay, so you're saying what about that patient's blood? How do you know that's type B? Okay, so you're probably assuming that it is A. Because there are what? What was in what was in there? A antibodies, and those antibodies did what? They attacked it, right? Which caused it to clump. Very good, doctors in training. Dr. Fuentes, why don't you go ahead and check test tube RH? Write your data. When mixing the patient's blood with the contents in the RH test tube, what happened? Doctor in training, someone please tell me. Dr. Borky? It clumped. Therefore, what can we say, Dr. Taylor? Agglutination. Therefore, what can we say? So we're saying what about this blood? You're saying it's RH positive. That would be a conclusion or a hypothesis that you can come up with. Dr. Fuentes, from your data, once you finish recording your information, read aloud that box.
Note the patient's blood type by first clicking A, B, AB, or O, then click on RH positive or RH negative as well.
Dr. Fuentes, since you are in charge, what blood type would you say that this patient is? Why don't you
B
click it?
positive. Oh. It's a negative. It's A positive.
Because what happened when you mixed it with the blood type that had A antibodies? It clumped. That A antibodies attacked the blood because it didn't mix in there. Therefore, the A was seeking after the A's. Remember? If there's A antibodies, what type of picture are those A antibodies holding up? What type of pictures are those A antibodies? There again, A. They're looking for A's. If you're A's, they're going to attack you. So therefore, this person's blood type must be A. Try it again. Hit the X. All right, so from there, Dr. Fuentes, are you ready to perform the procedure, or would you like some assistance? Assistance. Why don't you click the X? We are now about to be in the operation room. Dr. Fuentes, why don't you pick an assistant? Okay, you may take your seat. Thank you so much. Let's give Dr. Fuentes a round of applause. She's off duty. You may want to bring your paper, Dr. McKenzie. On your paper, it says conclusion. What is this patient's blood type? Fill in this patient's blood type. What is the patient's blood type? Okay, right now, on your own, I want you to fill in what blood types this patient can use to be transfused into them. So it says what blood types can be used for the transfusion. Right now, write that down. You don't have to put the RH. You can actually just put A positive, O negative, O positive. That's fine. Josh, you have a question? No. Doctor's up here. You guys are in training. You got to see if this doctor knows what he's doing. Are you ready, Dr. McKenzie?
I think so.
Okay, Dr. McKenzie, we can't think. We have to know. We have a patient on the line here. Okay, Dr. McKenzie, this patient requires, if you look over there, how much does this patient require?
4 blood bags.
4 blood bags. When we put the blood bags in, notice we have a gurney here.
Yeah.
This is where the blood bag goes so that the blood can go into the patient. We need 4 blood bags for this patient. Why don't you try with 1 blood bag first and see how the patient accepts it? Use the information that you have. We can't kill this patient, doctor. It's accepted. Thank goodness. Okay, Dr. McKenzie, we need some assistance. You're getting a little tired. We've been in here for some time. What blood type did you give him, Doc?
A
A positive. Okay, so that was a good match. Thank you, Dr. McKenzie. Dr. Brown, so far we've given this patient A positive. You have the information about the patient?
Yes.
You're scrubbed up?
Oh,
All right, why don't you go ahead? The patient still needs 3 blood bags. Vital signs are okay. Oh my God, doctor! You gave that patient AB positive blood. Why is the patient deteriorating? Raise your hand and tell me. Because it has a B what? Antigen. There. Does this person accept that B antigen? Why? Because he's type A and his body has what? B antibodies. What just happened?
Oh, you can go over? I was just guessing.
It did what? No, what was happening in the body? Hold on, stay over here. Reacting how? What was that body doing? It was attacking those B antigens. We need another doctor. Dr. Chemo, are you scrubbed up? We've had a tragedy in here. The wrong blood type has been given to this patient. We need to save him quickly. He still needs 3 bags. Do you have the information on this patient? Okay, you can use this to scroll over for other blood types if you need to. Dr. Chemo, please help us. We've been in here for a long time. Dr. Chemo, what blood did you give this patient?
O positive.
O positive. Why did you choose O positive?
Because anyone can accept O blood.
Anyone can accept O blood. Why positive and not negative?
Oh, because it doesn't match up.
Okay. All right. What's this patient's blood type? A positive. Okay. All right. We need another doctor. Why don't you pick another doctor? Come on, Dr. Noon. We have to hurry quickly. We had a little bit of a tragedy, but I think the patient's going to be okay. We still need 2 blood bags. Do you have the information on this patient?
Yes.
And have you been scrubbed up?
No.
You need to scrub. All right, go ahead. Watch that cord. Come over here and do it. Doc, we've been in here for a while. We need you to come on. Hurry up.
Alright, I'm just gonna wing it.
Wing it? No way. No way, Doc. If you don't know what you're doing, we have to get another doctor in here. Do you know this patient's blood type?
Yeah.
What is it?
A positive.
A positive. Have you written down the types of blood that this patient can accept?
Yeah.
Okay, so what can this patient accept? What's another one? We've already given him what? O positive and A positive. But yeah, we know that didn't work. A positive and O positive, we've given him that work. What else can we give him?
B negative.
AB? Doc, we need another doctor. Dr. Balsamo, come up. Dr. Balsamo, do you have the information on this patient? Have you been scrubbed up?
No.
Please scrub. Put your mask on. We have to save this patient. We've been here for a long time. What are you giving him? O negative. Let's see. Cross your fingers. Yes, that is good. She's giving him O negative, which means she gave him a blood with what? Without any antigens, and it did not have the RH factor. Therefore, this person accepted it. Now we need to give this person 1 more blood packet. Dr. Balsamo, please check someone. Dr. McKenzie, put your hand down. Dr. Noon, put your hand down. Dr. Green, do you have information on this patient?
Yes.
Have you been scrubbed?
No.
Please do so. Put your mask on. All right. Do you you're all set because this is our last chance to save this patient.
Yeah.
Okay, please help us out. We've been here a long time. I'm tired. What are you giving this patient? A negative. Cross your fingers, people.
Yes!
Oh, we have saved this patient. What were the blood types that we could give that patient? A positive A negative, O positive, and O negative. I need one more doctor. I need a head doctor this time. Josh. Dr. Taylor, have you been up here already? Okay, Dr. Taylor. Are you scrubbed? All right, you're a head doctor. Select your patient.
All right.
This time you're on your own.
On my own.
You need to go get your paperwork. Dr. Taylor, why don't you read the information here and tell us what you need to do?
Drag and drop the what is it? Syringe on top of the patient's arm.
Let it go. There you go. Read this first.
Oh, no, that one. Click on the test tube to see their contents.
Stop for a second. As he clicks on each test tube, make sure you record the information. I am not giving any assistance here. Go ahead, starting with test tube A.
A antibodies.
Give them a chance to give their therefore. You do your therefore as well. Okay.
B, test tube B. B antibodies.
No talking. Your turn.
RH antibodies.
Doctor, are you ready to test this patient's blood in the test tube? Go right ahead, starting with test tube A. So you have to move back, Dr. Taylor. They can't see. You can move over here, Dr. Taylor. Jot down your information. Okay, whenever you're ready, doctor, why don't you test this patient's blood in test tube B? Dr. Taylor, whenever you're ready, test the patient's blood in RH test tube. The rest of you, including Dr. Taylor, complete your conclusion as well as what types of blood can be used for the transfusion. Dr. Taylor, take your seat. If you flip your paper over to the next side, you will see a sheet that looks like this. For those of you listening online, I will give you your data. You do need to answer the question first. How does your blood help fight infectious diseases? Again, those of you listening online, I will post up the information on page C77 and C78, and I will be giving you the data so that you can complete this lab and turn it in.
Okay, if you're listening online, then you noticed again that it says read disease fighters on pages C77 through C78. And then you're going to answer this question: how does your blood help fight infectious diseases? I'm going to show you page C77 and C78 so that you can read it. You may need to pause the video if it takes you some time to read it before I move on. This is page C77. Again, pause the video so that you can read it. This is C78. Pause the video so that you can read it. Now your procedures tell you to read the blood emergency on page C79. I'm going to show you page C79. You will need to read that and then pause the video so that you can read it through so that you're keeping up when I move on. At the end of this lab, you will be able to explain the hospital's availability of blood. So I am going to show you page C79 now. This is page C79. Read it. Now your paper tells you to follow the procedures 1 through 6 from pages C79 and C80 and use the chart below. The book will tell you to create your own data chart. Well, the data chart is already on your paper here, so you do not need to recreate one. Use this data chart. I'm going to go through the procedure in the video so that you can watch what exactly is being done, and you will record your data, answer your analysis questions, and this will need to be turned in. The procedures are as follows. Collect the 3 blood samples and 3 serum samples. Here we have your 3 blood samples. I'm sorry, your serum samples. And here we have your 3 blood samples. You need to know that serum is blood that has the red blood cells removed. In blood transfusions, the donor's blood must be compatible with the patient's serum. We're going to design a data table, which is already on your lab sheet, so you do not need to do that. We will test each of the 3 donated blood types with the serum from each of the 3 patients. We're going to place 2 drops of Sasha's blood serum in cups 1 through 3. One, 2, and 3. We're going to place 2 drops of Sasha's blood serum in cups 1, 2, and 3. We're going to add 2 drops of donated blood type A into cup 1. Donated blood type A. We're going to put it in cup 1. And you're going to record your data results. I'm going to put up a screen that's going to show you what clumping and mixing looks like. Here's what it looks like if it mixes, and here's what it looks like if it clumps. Now we're going to test Sasha's blood serum with the remaining samples, and we're going to record it in our data chart. So that was type A that we just did. Now we're going to do B, I'll zoom in on them so you can see them. And now we're going to do blood type O. Record your data. If at any time you need to pause the video, do so, as I'm going to move kind of quickly. I am now going to test Fong's blood type. So this is Fong's blood serum. I'm going to put that in this cup. Trying to get it clear for you. All right. Going to do blood type A. Blood type B. And blood type O. Here again is a picture if it mixes or clumps. Now it's time to test out Jordan's. Blood type A. Blood type B. And blood type O. Record your results. Again, here is a picture of what it looks like mixed and agglutinated. And here is a picture of the entire results. One, two, and three. You have Fong's. 4, 5, and 6. You have Sasha's. 7, 8, and 9. You have Jordan's. Record your results and answer your analysis questions. This concludes the end of the lab lesson.